Hello. Hey, everyone. It was just a quick break. But again, Temple Grandin's in the back for any questions. We're going to move on to our next speaker. This is a special speaker to me. Keith Wallace is our executive director. I'm from Illinois. And Keith Wallace is our executive director of our Lincoln Way Special Recreation Association. So in my area, we have a recreation association specifically for individuals with disabilities. And Keith has been phenomenal. So not only is he executive director, I know it's not in his bio, but he has been, he's also our DJ. He's also dressed up as Grinch. He's also dressed up as the Easter Bunny. The list goes on. So please enjoy it. And any questions, I know he's from Illinois and has association in Illinois, but he knows a lot of people and he has a lot of resources. So please enjoy.
All right. Can you hear me? Thank you, guys. Once again, my name is Keith Wallace. I'm the executive director for Lincoln Way Special Recreation Association. And today I'm going to share with you the benefits of therapeutic recreation cooperatives and special recreation associations. But first, I want to kind of start with a little joke. I love dad jokes and the people watching. So if you have dad jokes, please write them down and give them to me because I love them. I love giving them. So I called my daughter today. Her name is India. And I said, hey, what's the best dad joke that I've told all week? And she started with this. So let's see where it is. So why do fathers take an extra pair of socks when they go golfing? In case they get a hole in one. I know. Pretty cheesy. I have like 4 more in here, so if you want to hear another one, just raise your hand. That's how I start my old day. Oh, we got it. We got one right there, so I'll do one more. Let's see. Oh man, I dropped a bottle of ketchup on my foot, and I'm in a lot of pain to my toes. No. All right, you got it. All right, so let's start. I got a couple more here. So, I call myself a super connector, and Tessa kind of touched on that. So I have a lot of things that I talk about in my presentations. I did one online where I talked about how to travel with a child with a disability, how do you travel with a team with a disability. So I did a couple of those, but I like to connect people with similar disabilities and similar families and similar structures to make sure that individuals are getting everything they need in life. So, and that can be from chairs, that can be from services, that can be from anything you need. That's kind of what I am. So if once I put my contact up there, please reach out to me if you have any questions, because I know a lot of people and I kind of connect people with where they are. So a little bit about special recreation associations. Oh, I forgot about my clicker. A little bit about special recreation associations. What is a special recreation association? So a special recreation association is, we are a group of park districts, villages, municipalities, and we come together to provide therapeutic recreation services for individuals with disabilities. So in fact, we're an extension of the park districts. So what that means is one park district in Illinois figured out that they can't do therapeutic recreation services by themselves. They need to go in with another park district to provide cooperative programming. And in 1970, a group of individuals legislated on our behalf, on SRA's behalf, to go to get special funding for SRAs. So right now, we can levy up to 4 cents. So 4 cents of the property tax goes to us. So, which is awesome, because now we have an opportunity to provide services, those direct services for individuals with disabilities. So when I say all over, we do all kinds of programs and we focus on recreation. So a little bit, how are they funded? That's a brief overview. I know I got 45 minutes, but that's a brief overview, but I can go in detail with that. But we're funded. We put out a catalog just like a traditional park district that you would see all over the state, but it's just for individuals with disabilities. How many SRAs are there? There are 32 SRAs in the state of Illinois. And on the registration table back there, I gave you all the towns and I gave you all the SRAs that are in Illinois that you can access. Now, how do you how do I go about funding those? I'll get to those at the end because that is the unique stuff that we have. I want to empower you in your town, wherever, because SRAs are unique to Illinois, but they don't have to be. If you get together with a couple parents and people in park districts, you can form one all over the world. There's no reason that this model can't be duplicated. So right now, I'm just going to really talk to you about Lincoln Way Special Recreation Association because I'm the director there and I want to share, and I given the mic and the opportunity to share what we do. And hopefully you can take our model and go back to your town and just do the things that you can do. So we are big on acronyms. Lincoln Way Special Recreation Association. We call ourselves LWSRA. When we go in for teams, they call our LWSRA. We don't know what that is, but they'll call us that. So, but that's what we go by, is Lincoln Way Special Rec. My staff, I have a wonderful staff. Now I'm gonna spend a little time and talk about our staff. You know, you have me, but all of my staff right there are passionate. I did a really good job at finding people that are passionate in their profession. So for me, this is my calling. This is just not a job. I do this all over the world. I do this every day, all day. I talk about special recs. I help people build programs all over the world. And it's just phenomenal for me to just do that. So I try to find people that are passionate about it and hopefully that they can develop a passion or a calling. And a calling is a little different than a passion. So we have about 11 staff that work our programs. Melissa is my superintendent, and you'll see some pictures of some individuals, but she started at our, started from a, she lives in the area. She went to school for therapeutic recreation. She moved up from a recreation specialist all the way to a manager, and now she's the superintendent of recreation. So we kind of homegrown and find people, and that gives us a really good family feel for our organization. I think we only have like 2 people that have been there less than 2 years. So I've been at Lincoln Way for 16 years. I've been there a long time. Melissa's been there for about 14, and actually Tom Kraus, he was there, and he's great. He's my support services supervisor, but he does everything. But he was, his father has been there 30 years, and he was doing, his mother was doing programs when he was in the womb. So he's been there all his life. He says longer than me, but he's been there all his life. He's a lifer, so we love him. So this is our organizational chart. So Lincoln Way Special Rec, we're extension of the park districts. So those, we cover Frankfort, Mokina, New Lenox, Peatone, Manhattan, Wilmington, and Frankfort Square. Those are park districts in our division. Each one of those levy funds, and then there are my direct supervisors. So that's how we're structured. So in the park district world, you have to have, I mean, in the SRA world, you have to have 2 or more park districts or municipalities to form a SRA. So 1 park district and 1 municipality can't come together. That's how the legislation is written, that they can't come together to make a SRA. However, but 2 park districts can do it and 2 municipalities can do it. Or you can have 4 and 3. So we have 7 park districts, and then that's kind of the breakdown of how my staff works. So, and you guys know. So our mission is we provide recreation and leisure services for individuals with physical and intellectual disabilities, for programming and the disabilities awareness in the community. Our vision is what is really solid for us. We build a community without limits for individuals with disabilities. Our vision is what we strive for. If we can achieve our vision, that will put us out of business. That's kind of how we want to go. So, you know, we really want to create that environment that everybody can come and feel welcome into our organization. So anybody that walks through our doors will feel that they can be serviced. Some of the facts. So we started in 1976. So 6 years after the legislation was written, we started LWSRA. Told you about the park districts. So our programs, we offer so many programs. And so from summer camp to inclusion, to after school programs, to adult day programs. We'll talk about that a little bit. Our youth, We talk teen and adult, Special Olympics, and adaptive sports. So I'm gonna circle back onto our adult day program. We have an adult day program that we focus on recreation. So that program, we have over 40 individuals in that program, and we have 56 on the waiting list. It's such a need that people want to get in, but we're having a hard time finding staff. So it's just really hard to do that program. And it's a really needed program out there for individual adult day programming, and finding a program that really has a family feel, that the parents want to feel safe and feel that their kid is actually doing something, is one of our benefits that we have. And our parents have told us that we have one of the best day programs around. So I have some videos of some of our programs. So one of them is they're about a minute each, and I'm just going to show you some of this. Nadine is she's in the picture. She's my new marketing person, but she came in as a recreation specialist, and she started our drama program, and it is just phenomenal. And I believe you will see a familiar face in here, because I believe he's at the conference. But our drama program is just phenomenal, and I'll just show you a couple pictures of that right now. So that's our drama program. It's a phenomenal program. It allows our participants to be themselves. And the greatest part, we do several of these, and our gym is packed. We get over 600 people in our gym to watch the kids perform, and they are such hams, and they love it. And then the best part for me, at the end, we give each kid an opportunity to express themselves with the microphone. So that could take about 20 minutes, but we love it, and it's great, and we don't silence them, and it just has a good time. So we do have to silence one, but but he always, that would be Tessa's, Gavin, but we give him the last opportunity to speak. So it's kind of like the thing, and everybody expects it. So it's awesome. So the next video I'm going to share with you is our teen program. So this was just phenomenal program. A lot of I'll show it, and then I'll kind of talk about it a little bit. Oh, sorry, they changed the slides. We're going to talk about the adaptive program first, and then we're going to go to that. So our adaptive program is passionate to me because when I started at Lincoln Way Special Rec, we didn't have programs for individuals with physical disabilities. And coming from a rehab hospital, it was really important that anybody that came through our door, I wanted to serve. So, and I didn't want to turn them away. So we started an adaptive sports program that we have we're going to focus on wheelchair basketball, but we do water skiing. I saw a lot of individuals in here that have children in chairs. Don't be afraid to let them soar. I've taken kids zip lining. I've taken kids water skiing. There's a world out there for individuals with physical disabilities to do. You just have to, express it and get it out there. But they're doing stuff all over. If you're from Denver, I have a guy that's here. His name is Joel Berman. That's all he does is adaptive outside activities. So here's my adaptive sports programs, and we'll share this right now. Awesome. So the video is awesome, but it doesn't really show how we started, because we get those kids, they're showing, I picked the best clips, but I got a kid yesterday that showed up that was 3 years old. So we start from 3-year-olds all the way up to 55, and they all have different divisions and they all have different ability levels. And the way wheelchair basketball works, it's totally inclusive, because there's a point system on the floor that you have to include everybody of varying disabilities to play. So it's very inclusive. It's a great sport. I say it's a best form of therapy, because they'll be playing with friends. We do, for the younger kids, we do a lot of sharks and minnows. We do a lot of game activities. So they're getting that therapy without realizing they're getting therapy. So it's really well. So the next video is our teen program, which I'm very proud of, because this was first time a lot of kids, the parents cut the strings and trusted us to let them go for a weekend trip. And I'll show you this one.
Teaching for 6 years. I've taught people for 4 weeks, and these kids are insane. They're amazing.
And what's awesome about that is, as the director, I usually don't know everything that's going on. They went for snow tubing, and then I get the video and they're snowboarding. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But our kids can do so much more than what we do if we put them in a box. But if we just think about the things that they can do instead of the things that we put limits on, they may surprise us. So yeah, the snowboarding, I was afraid of it myself, but they got on and did it, and I guess it was awesome experience. So the last one is our Special Olympics, which is huge programming all over the place. And this is one of the reasons LWSRA kind of exists, because that's what we really started with, was Special Olympics. And I think Eunice S. Stryver's birthday is today. So if you're on Facebook, if you're friends with her, you probably can say hi. But that is, Special Olympics is a big part of what we do and how we do our things there. So this is our Special Olympics program. So that's our Special Olympics programs. We have so many sports. We have, if you can name it, we have it for Special Olympics. And if we don't have it, we will try to provide it for our participants and our clients. So that's Special Olympics. So how do we get here? I kind of talked about the program fees and how we fund it. So this is a little bit about how Lincoln Way, the funding. So we do program fees, which we do 3 brochures a year. So participants pay for programs. So the other thing is the member districts. That counts for 52% of our budget. So for the funding that comes in. So the member districts, they levy the funds, and then we use that for operations. We get about 10% in donations. Our grants, marketing, and inclusion is about 4%. And then how's the money spent? The money is spent with personnel. 52% is personnel with our salaries. We do have professional staff, as I showed you. Most of them have a degree in therapeutic recreation, and they hold CTRS, Certified Therapeutic Recreation certificates, as well as a CPRP, which is Certified Parks and Rec Professional certificate. So we do benefits for our staff, capital projects that we put in, program supplies, debt because we own a building, facility and maintenance on the building, our vehicles. We have about 6 or 7 vehicles that we maintain every year, and contractual services is based on lawyer fees and things like that. So those are kind of things that you have to deal with if you're going to start something like this. How many participants do we serve? We've served over 434 participants in 1 year. So that's kind of our base that we have. We know there's more individuals out there. If 1 in 10 people have somebody with child with a disability or know somebody with a disability, we know we have to tap into some other individuals in our community that we're not reaching, and we're trying to do that. In those 434 participants, they have participated 3,269 times over 300 unique programs throughout the year. That is pretty impressive to say, that we keep moving no matter what. And we try to make sure that no one's left behind. So because we charge fees for our programs, we also have a scholarship program, which we call Hawks Bucks, that in the last year we gave over $10,000 in scholarships for the participants. So if they couldn't afford it, we make sure they can afford it. I mean, they can afford it. So we try to break down those barriers and break down the things that will hold somebody back from participating. So and usually finances is one thing. And then the one thing, how we get in the community, we do community awareness events. We take over PE classes. However we can hit the kids or hit the parents, we try to get them involved and let them know that we're here. Because the thing in Illinois, even though there's 32 SRAs, we're still a secret. And I don't know why, but we're still a secret. And I'm a full believer is if you don't have a child with a disability, you won't know. Or if you don't acquire a disability, why would you need the service? So we have to do a great job of promoting what we do and why we do what we do, so people can access these programs so it can change their lives. So we do a thing called Jump Fest. Tessa mentioned the Grinch, and I'm a firm believer in these programs. I should have put a picture, but I'm a mean Grinch. I dress up as the real Grinch. You can Facebook me. I can show you pictures. I do a really good job, and it's about putting that extra in, and what you give is what you get. So I put in 110%, so I know that we're going to get more in the end, and people are going to find out about us. Some key areas of focus. So for our strategic plan, we do a strategic plan every few years. We're winding down on this one, and we just did another one. But so we focus on our funding, our growth, and our staffing. So those are kind of things that are key for us, is funding, growth, and staffing. Our staffing, we want to make sure our staff are certified so we can get awards and grants, and we can get everything we need to provide better services. So that's some things that we do. Growth, we try to increase participation by 3% every year. So that's up to my staff to go out there and do what they need to do so we can find and meet new families and bring them into the fold. So one thing that we have that we're proud of is we built a sensory room. So we wanted to provide some space for individuals to come in and utilize this service. And so we offer it for $30 for a half an hour, and parents just come in and use the space. And we tell parents, if you want us to come, we'll facilitate it too. But in this room, the kids are the boss. We don't tell them what to do. They can do whatever they want. We clean it up after it's done, as long as they're not really destroying, but they're the boss in that room. But once they come out, you know, it's back to normal. But we wanted to give them a space where they can create and feel a part. And it looks exactly like that. We have that chair is I don't know if you've been in a sensory room, but that chair, it vibrates and plays music. We have aromatherapy in there. We have a lot of things. And funny thing, when we first built this sensory room, my cousin has autism, and he was the first person to, we just had finished, and my cousin came down and he went in and he crawled underneath that red thing and he turned on the lights and he said, perfect. You know, so we knew we did something right, because I mean, he rarely talks, and the one thing he said was perfect. So we knew we had a gym there when we did that. So another thing that we've done, we have a full universal design playground on site. It's beautiful. Our grand opening is July 15th. We're really proud of this. We've been doing so much promotion, and is not only the playground itself, but the complex. We're finding different ways to engage our participants and people that ran in the community. So we just spent about $20,000 on a sensory path around the trail for our playground. So this is the whole complex. The piece in the middle is the playground, that big piece. But then around that whole trail, we put some sensory items where individuals can play at their leisure and kind of do some things with their caregiver or just different things without people there. So it's just an awesome addition to our playground, to our facility, we couldn't do this alone. One of our park districts, the New Lenox Community Park District, went for a OSLAD grant in the state when got $250,000 to get that. So, and on our building, which I'll show you later, they went on our behalf for a park grant and got $2.5 million. And the agency raised $1 million, and then we financed $1 million. So those are kind of some of the things that we kind of value partnerships. So your park districts are your best friends when you're doing some of these things. So this is kind of some of the construction of the playground. This is what it looks now, but we have a little grass there because that was, I did this a while ago. So some of the things that we want to do, this is our building. Like I said, we paid, the park district went for a grant, we paid $1 million and we financed $1 million. So that was about a $4.5 million building, but when you build it, they will come. So we are full believer that we're out of space. So we built this in 2014. So we're trying to build more. So we have a plan just in case somebody comes in with $6 million, they can just, if somebody wants to move to Illinois and bring $6 million, we can get this done. So we have it all on one, but we're working with the park district to try to get another grant to do some of the unique things that we're doing. So this is kind of, we have the regular gym, but we want to build another gym and another classroom so we won't be out of space. Some of the other things we want to do is some of the completed projects, we second entrance, seating area, and sensory room for office space. That's some of the things that we did after the building was built. The next thing that we want to do is a awning in front of the building, which is one thing that was an oversight. We got a lot of individuals that have multi-needs in the park district and in our community, and we didn't think about the kids standing outside. I say kids, but the kids or adults standing outside. So we want to build them some shelter to kind of keep them out of the elements, to keep them in there. So it's an expensive project, but I have dreams. That's why I think we're successful, because I always have dreams and goals. And if somebody comes in with money, we'll do it. But we're fundraising for it now. And other things that we do, we value our Eagle Scouts. So if you're part of a program, our Eagle Scouts are phenomenal. They have, they're putting in a fire pit right now. They've made accessible benches, and they're gonna do a accessible gaga ball pit. If you don't know what that is, it's awesome, but you gotta step over it. So one of the Eagle Scouts is gonna build a door so that people in chairs and people can go in. And then the benches were great because 95% of my friends are in wheelchairs. So I usually say that and I start that. And one of my friends was like, why do I always have to sit at the end of the picnic table? And I was like, you're right. Why do you all have to always sit at the end? So I'll show you pictures later, but I didn't put it in here. We built picnic tables. The Eagle Scouts built picnic tables where the middle is out of all of the benches. So now it's perfect for strollers, perfect for wheelchairs, and you can still sit on the end if you want. So it was a great, but you just got to listen. And a lot of buildings and things are built by people that don't have disabilities. There's an architect right now, I forgot his name, but he acquired his visual impairment after he was an architect. And now he's the most sought out architect because he's building it with the mind of visual impairments. So that's where we have to get the world to start thinking differently and building things differently. So I got a lot of projects and topics. So here's some of the completed Eagle Scout projects. I think the benches are there. They've got the benches. Planter gardens. They did a dugout for our wheelchair accessible softball field. And then they had a planter, our center island piece. So what are we doing now? So since COVID, and I'm glad it's over, and I'm really glad you guys have these things because I'm in the medium where I'm good with a little high fives and touching, but it's an awesome idea. I do that at my office as well. But we shifted to virtual programs. That was the space that we did, and my staff did a phenomenal job, and people were calling us and asking on what we were doing, and they're asking me, and I said, I have no clue because, when you're over 40, you don't know how to do the technical things. I don't even know how to do our registration anymore. So they did a phenomenal job. We did some recreational boxes. We've done a lot of community parades, and since July, we resumed doing in-person programs to the ability we can with some implementations of some safety protocols. So I won't get in that because we still owe money, but we have a lot of volunteer opportunities. I know you guys from all over state, but that is just some good things that you could do is just maybe advertise your volunteer opportunities. Join local business groups that are good. I'm in Rotary. I'm a part of Rotary, BNI. There's so many Kiwanis, but all of those different things brings volunteers, which brings revenue, which it's like a cycle that it all helps everybody. So that's my presentation, but I was going to talk about how do you build a cooperative program. So that is key. And the first thing, I just have a couple things. The first thing is you have to, if you want to build a cooperative program, research, do a needs assessment. Find 2 or 3 parents out there that have the same ideas or vision as you. And then once you do that, research the current programs that you have in your area. If you don't have a lot of programming in your area, then there's a need. And now you need to, your best bet is to go to your park districts because they have to, by law, they have to make a reasonable accommodation for your child to participate in programs. So let me say that again. So they have to make a reasonable accommodation by law to participate in programs. So if they don't have a therapeutic recreation program, sign them up. I mean, you have to trust, I know you guys are, you safety first, but if you sign your child up for a traditional recreation program, I better believe they'll be calling people like me to say, how do we get that done? And that's what they need to do. They need to force their hand. You guys are gonna typically go where it's safe, but we need you guys to scratch the surface and say, okay, my kid wants to do basketball, figure it out. They have to provide a reasonable accommodation. That means they have to give they may have to give an inclusion aid. They may have to give somebody, they have to pay for somebody to come there. And if they have to do that too many times, then they'll start thinking, how do we do a cooperative? And then that's where you come in. There's this place in Illinois, they have 2 or more municipalities or park districts come together. and they form recreational programming for people with disabilities. So that's kind of how you start. You have to do that needs assessment first. But if they're already doing therapeutic recreation programming, that's great. You can also ask them, hey, there's a model out there. Look at this. 2 of you guys do it together. Now you can hire more staff. You can do more things, and they'll do the services for you. So that's kind of the first step. And then the second step, once you have that, is start contacting your elected officials. Your elected officials are key. They're key. But when you contact them, don't go in asking for money right away. It is an art to approaching your elected officials. They get a lot of people pounding on a door. I have an elected official that I never ask him for money. We talk about his kids. We talk about sports activities. I invite him to every event, but I never talk about money. He just 2 weeks ago said, hey, I put you in for $25,000. Thank you. But those are the things that you have to do. And when you're talking to your elected officials, you have to get to know the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper is their secretary, the keeper of their schedule. So you have to, get them a nice gift or something so you can get on that schedule and get time with that legislator and get to know the legislator. And that's how you get things and you get their attention. So those are my those are kind of helpful hints to get you started. You have my contact information. My contact information is here. Please reach out to me. I have business cards. You can write that down about anything. If you need equipment, supplies, if you're stuck somewhere, if you need this, I will find somebody or I'll put it in there. My network is my net worth. I'll say that again. My network is my net worth. And I love to connect people. So yeah, I'll open it up for questions. If you have any questions for me, I would entertain them now, or I have another dad joke. Any questions? All right, let's go for the joke. If I can find him. There we go. Let's see which one I want to do. Oh, this is good. What kind of doctor drinks Dr. Pepper? A physician. No, it's about no, not too. That was a good one back there. I like it. See, I got to laugh. And let's see, I got one more. Let's see. Oh, this is really bad. My staff told me. I start all of my meetings like this, and they are used to it now. So, what do you get when you pick a pig's nose? Hamburgers. I know. Snot funny. All right, thank you guys very much. I appreciate. Oh, we got a question.
Actually really not a question, but just something that I didn't see on the slide that I thought was really great. So they created a lot of virtual programs, which were great. And, it works for some, doesn't work for others, but what they did do, and it worked for all, they did two wonderful things. He did mention about the kits. They did a Valentine's Day kit, and then I think they did
Easter bunny.
The Easter bunny kits, sold out of these kits. So you either can go to the facility and pick them up, and it was literally a horseshoe drive through. You pick up your kit, and they created all these like wonderful making slime, and they had all the things were purchased. Well, we had to purchase the kits, but then the things that were in the things, either people donated or they supplied them, but all of the kits were full and complete. So we were able to do that at home for our kiddos. So that was great. Or they actually dropped off the kits to our house. So they came in a bus, the LWSRA bus, and they dropped them off at the house. And then the other thing that they did was they did drive-bys. So birthday drive-bys, things like that. They did stuff like that, which we did for Gavin and Keith. Like I mentioned earlier, Keith is not only executive director, but, Grinch, and dresses up, and he's a DJ. So he came with his parade, and he had his car and music blaring and the parade of vans behind him. So we got a video of Gavin just, excited that he saw his friends, that he just wanted to see his friends. That's all he ever asked for. So breaks my heart that he couldn't, but he didn't understand it. But he did see his friends. They just came to him. So that was another great thing. I know Keith is from Illinois, but he's got a lot of resources. So if you don't have something like this in your area, please talk to him because he will help you find ways to create. And it's going to start small. Yes, we have a great facility, but it started way back when. Keith.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
we're
were-
talking years.
Yeah, we were in a industrial shed. I mean, it was probably.
I mean,
it was
I know,
pretty bad.
yeah. I mean, I know this looks amazing and great, but you got to start small, dream big. And that's what Keith does. And that's why I invited him out here. Cause I really think if you think outside of the box, you can create really great opportunities for your kids. And we have, and when we have an idea, we always kind of talk to Keith about it and see if what his staff can do. Because you know, things happen in numbers. So you really do have to find a great support system behind you that all seek the same need and want for your children. So I just wanted to add that because it was a really great thing for the kids that they actually did and they came to us.
Yeah. And a little bit about that too is the boxes. And she said we sold out, and the magnitude of that selling out, with all of the activity kits, we grossed over about $40,000 on activity kits, and we made everything ourselves. And the first one was probably we wanted to focus on quality, not quantity. So because we built it, and this was not just people with disabilities, this was the general public, because we built the quality, we had repeat buyers and people calling us asking for more, saying, can you guys do a St. Patrick's Day one? And we were like, no, you know, because it just took all hands on deck. But it was a lot of work and it was a lot of fun, but we really got that done.
Just to add to that, like, even though their focus is for the children or adults with disabilities, like I bought 3 kits because I have 3 kids. So it was just awesome to see. And that was an activity that my kids did together. So that was just a great thing to do and to do at home.
Yeah. And there's a resource too, www.specialrecreation.org. My flyers are out there and it has that information on there, but it kind of gives you resources for parents, OTs, PTs, everything, and you know, kind of what is the SRA and things like that. And we're always updating that. There's a group of directors in Illinois that meet once a month, and we update that kind of frequently, and we talk about what's new and happening in the SRA world in Illinois. So once again, thank you guys for your time. Thank you guys for allowing me to share my dad jokes. My daughter wrote all of these and I kind of test them on other people. So it's pretty cool and I like that. And when I speak about my daughter, I'll share this real quick is I love her. I love all my kids. So my son is he's just turned 20 and he's at Northwestern and pediatric neurosurgery. Totally mom. That's not me. Ariana is my second child. That's Isaiah. Ariana is my second child. She's going to senior in high school. She's typical teen and senior in high school. But my little one, India, she was diagnosed with ADHD and she has an IEP. And I'm getting emotional, sitting in her IEP, I figured out there was a lot of things about me that was being shared in that IEP that I never got diagnosed. So I was diagnosed with ADHD as an adult. I was never able to pass the certification exam, taking it 10 times, spent a lot of money. The first time I finally got help that I needed, because we don't look at ourselves, I passed the test. So it was just phenomenal because I got my extra time. I was always, we may overlook the things that we're working on our kids, but you have to work on yourself too. But those are some things that sitting in that IEP, if I would have never been in that IEP, I would have never said, oh, wait a minute. I almost cursed. I was like, wait a minute, that was me. I can't, so getting up here, I love to speak. This is my stuff I love to do. But I take my medicine. I know, but that is just a whirlwind of help for me to get past with that. So get your help that you need. Don't be afraid of it. Take care of your kids, but take care of yourself too. And thank you guys enough for giving me your time.